Hello everyone and happy Monday. It's time for another episode of Mark's Monday Minutes in Portland Real Estate. It is the week of September 25th. And as you can tell from the weather outside, fall is here. That's right, the leaves are falling, the rain's coming down, and my wife's putting out the Halloween decorations. So guaranteed, it is fall. It is the month of Halloween right ahead of us next week. Let's go ahead and get started. Our three takeaways this week. First of all, this week, it appears that the cost of mortgage buydowns, whether temporary or rate buydowns, has actually gone up now for 2 weeks in a row. So that's not exactly helping the housing market. Second point to remember, buyer activity has absolutely slowed. Just like the temperatures have come down, so has the buyer activity looking at listings. Part of that is school, part of that is weather. Most of that is seasonal, just like it was prior to COVID. This is normal. And finally, the third takeaway this week, guess what? Zillow and Open Door, they're back in the news because they're coming back to Portland. Yes, I'll tell you more on that. Let's go ahead and get started with the numbers. First of all, the number of active listings this week, 4,357. We've been bouncing right up about that 4,300 point now for several weeks in a row. We dropped right the very first weekend, Labor Day of beginning of September, Labor Day weekend, but we've just been sitting right at that 4,300, just under. So we're just slightly over that 4,357. The number of new listings this week, 520. Yeah, down from 609 just 2 weeks ago. So the number of new listings coming to market will decline, and the overall inventory will decline as more homes go pending, which this week 399 homes went pending this week, offset by the 520. So slight increase in inventory. Again, perfectly normal. From this point, we'll see both of those numbers tend to trend on down, much like the temperatures of the year. Number of homes sold in the last week, 338. Those are homes that went pending before Labor Day weekend and continues the trend. That's actually, looking back at numbers, that's the highest number since August 28th at 376. So again, that's going to trend down on the solds as well. Number of homes with a price adjustment, 1,171. This is setting at 26.8% of our market. 26.8% of the homes have had a price adjustment in the last 45 days of $99 or more. I have to make sure I get my numbers correct. This is normal. Compare this to the national trends right now, sitting about 37%. So Portland is ahead of the curve, if you will. Number of coming soon listings, the homes that I can see coming available in the next 3 weeks, starting to come down, but sitting at 37, the same number as last week, down from 40 the week before that, and 48 the week before that. So as listings will decline, so will coming soon listings. That gives us a supply in Portland of about 2.6 months worth of inventory. Again, still solidly in the seller number based on in the typical metrics, but right now a bit of stagnation, just quiet, just scarcity keeps the values up, and yet buyers are just being reluctant because of lending and being a bit more selective. Now, let's talk about those homes with a 4-car garage. Number of homes with a 4-car garage or larger, 131, 44 of which are under $1 million. This week, we've had 15 new listings come to market. 7 of those are under $1 million, all those with a 4-car garage. That's a good size number, good size jump. The number of pending homes in the last week with a 4-car garage, 5 of those 5, 3 of them have are under $1 million with a 4-car garage. And the number of sold in the last week, 8, 4 of which have a 4-car garage or larger. In the last month, we've had 27 homes sell, 15 of which were under $1 million with those aforementioned 4-car garages, giving us roughly 4.8 months worth of inventory overall for homes with a 4-car garage or larger. And these are really the multi-million-dollar homes. These are bigger. You would expect those large garage homes. It's under $1 million, where we're still sitting at about 2.9 months worth of inventory. Really no different than the conventional home with a normal 2 or 3-car garage inventory. The key is finding what you want. In fact, I've got this gorgeous listing that just came on the market, or will be coming on the market on Wednesday. We've been on coming soon, no showings for last week. It's a 2-car garage in Tigard at $725. This 2-car garage has a 4-post lift, so you have space for your 2 cars and your 2 motorcycles, and that floor is an absolute mirror finish, marble appearance, epoxy painted floor. It is stunning. This house will compete with any new construction out there, all the fit and finish. And at $725, it's the same price as a new construction down the street without the weight, without any of the limitations in new construction. You get a new house, but you still have to go buy mini blinds. You have to buy a fence. You have to buy landscaping. All of this is done, including the fountain and including the 30-foot long recirculating creek on the side of the property. Pretty cool. Garage, creek, your choice. Come check it out this weekend. Reach out to me for the details. Now let's get to those 3 takeaways, Louise. First of all, again, the cost for mortgage buydowns has risen. I've talked to 2 lenders in the last week that have confirmed that their costs for rate buydowns have gone up. The Fed has indicated a reluctance to raise rates again, but there's still a good amount of volatility as we look towards politics and finances and numbers and jobs reports. And short-term mortgage rates have not been falling as hoped or anticipated. So that's slowing things down a bit. Second of all, buyer activity normally slows down in the fall. After Labor Day weekend, especially this year, it looks like kids and families are back into school and back into school activities. And therefore, those buyers have just decided to hunker down now, perhaps for this year, for this school year, and they'll wait until next year. So yeah, activity has slowed down. Again, perfectly normal, pre-COVID, pre-pandemic. This is what we see, and I've been seeing for 17 years in this industry. This is normal. Now, what is unusual is the return of Zillow and Open Door. What does that mean? Well, you may remember a couple years ago, Zillow and Open Door partnered, where Open Door would come in, rate you a cash offer for your house, and then Zillow would turn around and resell the house. They did this at times when the market was low, obviously thinking there would be an upside. The problem is the model is flawed. They lose a lot of money. They gain publicity, they gain exposure, but they really lose a lot of money on the sale of the property because they often will overpay for the house. Although they are not returning to Portland officially as of today, there's this suggestion that we're just over the horizon. So we're going to see this again. Now, what does this mean? It means that you as a seller, if you have a house that has been difficult to sell, you might consider selling to one of these iBuyers or institutional buyers. No, it has nothing to do with Apple, by the way, folks. But these institutional buyers may start to look again. However, they're going to be selective in terms of the price strata and the neighborhood where they buy. If you're contacted and you're interested, reach out to me first, because I've got a good amount of insight into this in particular. Just because they promise no realtor commissions doesn't mean they don't charge a convenience fee that can be up to 3 times higher than what you would expect as a commission. So there's some insight. You want to reach out to me, Mark, at Portland Homes for Cars. I'll answer your questions. I'll do the research. I'm here to help you. All right, that's it. We're coming up on 8 minutes here. Have a wonderful weekend. I will see you in October next Monday.